Welcome to What in the World with Paul Seaburn, nominated Best News Podcast in Cleveland. And we've been nominated. We're still waiting for the results, but you all know we're the best. So, give us the award. That's fine. But before I turn the show over to Paul, I want to thank all of our sponsors, Beer and Belly Sports Grill in Northfield, Ohio, and Bigfoot Landscaping in Oakwood Village. We encourage you to support our sponsors, including Paul Seaburn and his book, What Would You Say to a Naked Space Alien? And I've been thinking about that. You know what I would say? Go put on some clothes. So I also want you to support me. I am a life coach, and all of us need help with our life, especially me. So reach out at Yes I Can Coaching. So before I go introduce Paul and give a full explanation, I want you to know we are not going live today or anytime in the very near future because it just isn't working properly. So you'll have to find us on your favorite streaming platform because we're there for all of you. And we still sort of record live. So all the mistakes we make and all the goofs, you get to see because I do not edit them out. So with that being said, let's goof off, Mr. Seaburn. Tell us what we're going to talk about.
That's too funny, Karen. As I said to a friend of mine and John's, who's a fan of the show, um, I said, if we had to edit out all the mistakes that we made, we wouldn't have a show.
You're right. You're right.
That's the brutal truth,
There
right?
you go, John. That's part of the beauty of What in the World. And I want to say, and it's as always, it's an honor to be nominated. We haven't heard yet. We think we should be best news podcast in the world, or at least the best funny news podcast in the world, because I think that's what we are. And by we, let's introduce everybody and get rolling here. So I am Paul Seaburn, the host of What in the World, everybody's favorite weird news podcast. Real news, sometimes strange, always funny. That's our motto. We've been doing this for 9 years on the new clevelandradio.net website. We're on all the major platforms. We're on YouTube, so you can find us there since we're no longer, for the near future, live. Um, those are the places to go. You can find me on Facebook. You can find Karen on Facebook and at newclevelandradio.net. You can also find me at my website, paulseaburn.com. What would you find there? You find information about Karen's services, about our sponsors, about my book, all that good stuff that she just mentioned that I won't cover again. But please visit us there. If you got a message for us, you want to tell us that you voted for us, which I've heard people say before, come send us messages on Facebook. That's the best place, or through newclevelandradio.net with Karen. Karen is Karen Hale, our co-host, our producer, media mogul at newclevelandradio.net. All kinds of great podcasts at Karen's website, so please check them out. Karen is also our liaison with Cleveland 13 News, the internet news TV station in Cleveland that we are associated with, and you can find our podcast there as well. So please check us out there. The other voice that popped up every once in a while when I'm not talking is my old buddy, co-host, host of What in the World of Sports with John Donalo. Yeah, that's him, John Donalo. Hey, John.
Hey, Paul, Karen, and audience, it's a wonderful day in Cleveland. It's Tuesday afternoon, the sun is shining. Great weather here in Cleveland, which is a portent, I think, for our show coming up.
Yes.
Yeah. The weather keeps getting better and better. So that's it is summer. It is June 22nd, June 23rd. Holy smoke, years going fast. So yeah, it's a beautiful day. But stay inside and listen till the end of the podcast. Unless you're outside on a walk or on a run and listening to us, then stay outside, enjoy the weather, and enjoy the show. What are we going to talk about today on What in the World? Oh, we've got some great stories today. We've got a a World Cup story with a Cleveland flavor. Keyword there, flavor. Wait till you see what this is all about. We also have a World Cup. And those of you who like to listen to our show know we like to play with puns and wordplay. World is not spelled W-O-R-L-D, and that it's spelled W-H-I-R-L-E-D. World, like spinning,
Ooh.
John.
Wow, really?
So this is a World Cup story for hamsters and for people too. Wait till you hear this. We find out why England hates pink doors. Oh, this has been a popular one on Facebook. We've got exercises to do while you're playing the guitar, while you're actually playing the guitar. We've got more signs that robots are taking over the world. We've got more odd news. We've got world records. John's got a great sports for us. And then we play everybody's favorite weird news game, Bluff the Co-host. So let's get right to it. I know you've been waiting for this. Let's start with the first story, a World Cup story with a Cleveland flavor. I mentioned to everybody to check us out on YouTube. That way you get to see the photos that we post in association with our various news stories. Also, Karen does a recap with the podcast, so you can read. Is that what it's called, Karen?
Yes.
A recap?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's our What in the World logo. There's a copy of my book, What Would You Say to a Naked Space Alien? Karen, that is a good thing to say to a naked space alien. Don't they? How can you travel the speed of light? Did you leave your clothes behind? Do they not travel at the speed of light?
I don't understand why they would want to come here naked.
I know. It's you'd think they'd have spacesuits on like they do on Star Trek, but
yes.
You have to read the book to find out. Check it out on Amazon.com, or I have a link at paulseaburn.com as well. Okay, so the World Cup is going on. We talk about all the sports that are big in Cleveland. We really should talk a little bit more about soccer because the World Cup is the premier world sporting event, even bigger than the Olympics. So, but this story is about a lady who is celebrating the World Cup in a way that we in Cleveland can relate to. Her name is Julia Bobo, and she is the current Bavarian Weißwurst queen. Weißwurst is the white sausage, and I'll show a picture of that in a second. So what she is doing is making Weißwurst in the shape of soccer players to celebrate the World Cup. There you go. Now, she's making little soccer balls for the soccer players to kick. I don't know, John. Do those look like soccer players to you?
Yeah, to me, they do, yes, but I've never seen them in that kind of form in terms of what they're made out of, right? I mean,
they're made out of the innards, and we're going to talk about that in a second. The innards of the Weißwurst. I really love Weißwurst. It's one of my favorite sausages. So yeah, it's without the casing. She's making them in the shape of soccer players, and
I got it.
Little balls, looks like little balls of bratwurst that they're kicking around. So she works at a butcher shop, her family's butcher shop. So that's where they're available. It's in Germany, by the way. I'll mention that. And I think that when she ran for Miss Weißwurst, she cooked some of these for the judges. So she won both the crown and she also won Miss Congeniality as a result.
Kill two birds with one stone.
There you go, John. The proper way to prepare, once you get the raw sausage, you have to prepare it and cook it in order to eat it. I heard the proper way to prepare these soccer player sausages is to flop them on the grill. That's a soccer grill for you.
Oh boy.
Do I have to explain flop? It's like the basketball players do when they think they've been fouled, they fall on the ground and make it look like they're really hurt. And then as soon as the referee makes the call, they jump right up and celebrate. Now, I don't know any players. I don't know much about the players. If we were to do this in Cleveland, we would, instead of soccer players, we might do something for the Guardians. Maybe make some Guardians players out of kielbasa, and we could make a field out of pierogies. You know, the pierogies would be bases. Well,
Oh,
how about
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
that might work? Yeah. Of course, if I shouldn't say this, but I will anyway. If we were to do food in the shape of the Browns, of course, Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback, he would be a hot dog. Um,
Oh,
sorry, Shedeur, I know you're listening, right? And that other guy, Deshaun Watson, he would be baloney.
yes.
So let-
There's our political comment for the day.
there's our sports.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. That's it. We're done. Okay. So she did. Here's a picture of Julia, by the way. She's a very nice looking lady. There she is at the family butcher shop, holding a wide variety of sausages there. So become the Bavarian Weißwurst queen, and you get to carry the Weißwurst scepter. I think I have a picture of her with the white. There's a scepter.
Oh,
It has
wow.
Oh, wow.
sausage on the top, along with her banner that
unique.
says Miss Weißwurst.
That's unique for certain. Right.
You have to be cute, which she is cute, but you also have to know trivia about Weißwurst. So, for example, there's one poor girl, she got disqualified because she thought that you were supposed to say how they make sausage, and that's a secret that nobody wants to release. But John or Karen, do you know what kind of meat goes into Weißwurst sausage?
No, and I don't want to know.
I honestly, I
wish
have
could tell
no,
you
I
if
do
you were
not
right or
know.
wrong,
I
but
know
my
that it's a
sound just
sauce.
went out, Karen. So let me reset. Okay, what was your answer again?
I
Well,
said
I'm
I
so-
don't want to know.
Well, Garen doesn't want to know, and I have no clue either. So
The answer is ground veal and pork, which is
Oh.
why it's the white color.
okay. Uh-huh.
So I'm another good question, and this is for all of you who at home playing at home. This is especially if you go to your local trivia contest at the local pub, you're going to be prepared if the Weißwurst questions come up. So Weißwurst was invented accidentally. It was not invented on purpose. It was invented accidentally in 1857 in Munich. Yeah, an innkeeper ran out of sheep casings, which is what they were using for the sausages. So he used the thicker pig casing instead that don't burst when they're, or it's riskier, I guess it is, that they'll burst when you're grilled. I think that's it. So, which brings up the question, do you eat the skin of Weißwurst? And the answer to that is no, you don't eat the skin. There's a German term, Zuzellen, and that means, get ready, suck the meat out. Okay. Which automatically makes the whole contest for Miss Weißwurst sound pretty kinky. But you can also cut it lengthwise and eat the meat with a fork, which I imagine eating of the Weißwurst is the high point of the competition. Don't go looking for videos because they're probably not suitable for work. Yeah. So get a load of this. I didn't know this because I order Weißwurst anytime I see it on the menu. It's traditionally only to be eaten before lunch, breakfast or lunch. It's a breakfast or a lunch sausage. In fact, not before noon. You're not supposed to eat Weißwurst. I mean, not afternoon. You're not supposed to eat Weißwurst afternoon. There's a saying that says when the noon bell rings, you don't eat it. And the way you eat it is in a golden trio. Any guess on what a golden trio might be, John?
No. outside there are three elements or three components. No, I don't know.
Regular listeners know it's very unusual for John to not play the game. So he's obviously stumped. The golden trio is a very delicious large Bavarian pretzel, the I lost it, some Bavarian mustard, a Weißwurst, and a cold wheat beer, which is a Weissbier, which is a white beer. So a whitish beer, a lighter colored beer. So everything on the plate is whiter or a variation of white. And again, you're only allowed to eat this before lunch, which is why nobody in Germany gets anything done after lunch when it's Weiss sausage season. So there you go. Now there's all your trivia on Weißwurst for today.
It doesn't even look edible.
It doesn't. Oh, Karen, it is delicious. It is so good. It's nice and spicy, and just a very tasty sausage.
Okay.
I guess you have to be a sausage fan. I'm a sausage fan. Now, I'm a fan of the next food that we're going to talk about here, but as I said, it's another kind of world food. So this comes from Japan, and in Japan, the makers of cup noodle, that's what it's called, which is those ramen noodles that you add hot water to. They have made a customized cup noodle hamster wheel. So if you're a cup noodle fan and you have a little hamster who looks like he might like it too, you can get a hamster wheel made out of a cup noodle cup. Now, but one of the problems that they have is they said that the hamsters that run in these get spoiled because they think that they're going to college, because that's college students love to eat cup noodle. That's sport, yeah. The this was originally called cup o noodle, if you remember back in the old days, cup o noodle, and the Japanese decided to change it because the Irish were trying to take credit for coming up with ramen noodle. I don't know, I've never been to Ireland, but I've been to Irish pubs. There's nothing on the menu that has curly noodles in it. John,
I've been to Ireland, but no, not the places that we had been. Did we see that?
Yeah, yeah. So these things hit the market in 1971, just in time for when all of the three of us were going to college. Also, probably a lot of our listeners as well. This thing, I believe, this saved colleges from going bankrupt, because college students now had something a little that they could their 25 cents or $1, whatever we had, that we didn't have to send to the college to pay for tuition. We could get something to eat, and that was cup noodles. So you can also make your own hamster wheel out of a used cup. But they've got that, they're like cups. They're like a funnel shape. So the poor hamster keeps sliding to the back, and it just gets them all frustrated and disappointed. You mean you can't afford to get me a good wheel? You got to make one out of a paper cup.
Well, frankly, that's very understandable.
I think so, John. Speaking for our hamster listeners, now I want to make sure if you go to the store and you see something on the label, a cup noodle that says hamster ramen, that is not a hamster wheel. That's something completely different.
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't think you want to try that. So,
thanks for the warning.
Yeah. So this is kind of like an amusement park ride, wouldn't you think? Running around in these cylinders here. Does it remind you of anything, John or Karen? Any amusement park rides?
The Ferris wheel.
The Ferris wheel. It didn't remind me of that. John, how about you?
No, I mean, we've ridden our share of amusement park rides, but no, it really doesn't.
Okay, well, it reminded me of a couple of rides. One is if you've been to Euclid Beach, which is no longer in existence, but it was a well-known, one of the earliest and most popular amusement parks in the Cleveland area. There was a ride called the Revolving Barrel, and it looked like this. It looked like a giant wheel, but what you did was you started at one end, and while the wheel was rotated, the floor was very slippery, and it was your mission to run while it was rotating without falling down to the other end of the wheel and get out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. John, I can't believe you never tried to. This was perfect practice for when we were trying to walk home to the dorm from a fraternity party.
Well, yeah, it would it would challenge your balance. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
Sure.
Help with the balance. Yeah.
Sure.
There was also another wheel called the rotor. This was my favorite ride here, the rotor.
No.
Oh yeah, we rode on the rotor quite a bit.
Right. So the rotor, the wheel is now vertical, and people would stand against the walls of this circular cylinder, and it would start to spin, and the floor would drop, but you would stick to the wall.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that.
I was thinking about this now. This has kind of prepared us you know, if you brought a chicken in there, it would prepare a chicken for life on the rotisserie. Because that's
Oh my
really what it was
gosh.
like.
Wow.
It was like being on a rotisserie. People would there's this picture here shows people who were upside down. I remember this. So anybody who could stand on their hand, they would do that. Then of course, you know, the girls had to hold their skirts down because we couldn't wear, you know, you had to get dressed up to go to the
Yeah.
amusement
Oh
back.
yeah, sure you did.
So you had because you started to slide down. So that was ride number 2. Ride number 3 that this reminded me of is this one here. Now this one was called the Joy Wheel or the Human Roulette Wheel. And for those of you who are not watching or listening, this was in the shape of a giant record turntable. And if you're too young to know what a turntable is, that's where your grandpa used to play records before there were CDs and memory sticks. Okay, now we got all that straight.
Oh yeah.
So this thing was also made out of wood. It was waxed slick, and you would start in the middle where the center point is, and your feet would face out from that, and then it would start to spin, and you had to try and stay on there until you spun off. Now, I love this picture because it's a very rare picture of men on the rotor.
Oh yeah, sure.
Joy wheel. Typically, John knows this. Typically, this was a ride where we convinced the girls to go on it, and then we would all stand and watch. You can use your imaginations to figure out why.
You couldn't have said it better, Paul.
Yes. Needless to say, some of the videos are not suitable for work before you go scanning them. Okay, so, well, a cup of noodle reminded me of all that good stuff. All right, let's find out about pink doors. I put this, you know, I like to try out some of my stories on Facebook. I put this one on Facebook. It's very popular. I hope it's popular with our podcast listeners as well. So this comes from England. The Westminster City Council ordered Rolling Stone Ronnie Wood. I can't believe that somebody would tell Ronnie Wood what to do. But what they told him to do, yeah, they told him to paint his pink door black. Ronnie Wood's house in Westminster has a pink door, and apparently it clashes with the decor of the neighborhood. So the city council told Ronnie, we see a pink door and we want it painted black.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
we get the connection.
Well, John, okay, get your trivia hat on. Ronnie said he told them, he says, I told them that it would darken with age, but it did not fade away, and it gave the council no satisfaction.
Tied that in nicely.
Spoken like a true Rolling Stone there.
Absolutely.
They asked Keith Richard what he thought, and he said he preferred it to be a red door because then it would match his eyes.
Oh, wow. If the shoe fits, wear it. Right.
Exactly. So I thought this is the perfect door for Ronnie Wood. When he comes home and after a night of partying, he knows which house is his by the door. He looks for the one with the pink door. Otherwise, you know, who knows? All these mansions, maybe they look the same. And plus, he's 79 years old. Give the poor guy a break. And then I read that he just had, he's on his 3rd or 4th wife. And he has, one of the reasons why he painted the door pink is because he has 2 twin daughters who are 10 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So they wanted to make it look like a Barbie dream house or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. I can see these 2 little girls at school. Well, what does your daddy do for a living? Well, he stands on stage and he makes Mick Jagger look younger. That's basically. So then, John, you remember the song "Painted Black"? It was one of the early
hits for them. Yeah,
early hit for the Rolling Stone. I was trying to find out why they recorded it, and they wanted to start using sitar music. Brian Jones was still in the band, and he was tired. He was tired of the fact that he was the original songwriter, and then Mick and Keith started writing all of the songs, and he was delegated to just playing the guitar, and he wanted to do something different. So he got a sitar, and he wanted to put sitar music into a song, and that's one of their first songs, probably of anybody that has sitar music in it, Painted Black. Yeah. Do you remember what album it was on, John?
Oh, let me think. Aftermath?
Wow, very good. Very good. Aftermath. Fourth album by the Rolling Stones, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Also on that album, do you remember what else was on that album? There were two other hits on that album besides Painted Black.
Get Off My Cloud?
What was that?
Get Off My Cloud?
Get Off My Cloud was not one of them. It was on a different album.
Okay.
I don't
know.
Here, I'll hold up my thumb. You ought to be able to get the answer.
And there's some significance there. Under My Thumb.
Under My Thumb. There you go. And Karen, you should know this one because mothers always like this song, especially mothers that have aches and pains and they need some help for their aches and pains.
I'm lost.
John,
I could offer the answer. Mother's Little Helper.
Mother's Little Helper.
Oh, okay.
Now, also on the album was a lesser known song called Lady Jane. Lady Jane, which has something in common with Pink Cadillac by John?
Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen. Now, what does it have in common with Pink Cadillac? Neither one of them were written about what you think they were written about. So, Lady Jane, you would think that was written about marijuana from the time frame. Pink Cadillac, you would think that was written about a car. As a matter of fact, they are both written about the exact same thing. John, you want to venture a guess as to what they're written about?
Oh boy, no, let me think.
I'm going to save you on this one.
Okay, no, well, I know there is such a thing as a Cadillac Ranch, actually.
Yeah, no, you're way off. Okay. You're way off. They're both written about lady parts. And that's all.
All right, okay.
Wow.
You can figure it out. How about that, Karen? Yeah, I didn't even know that. So, let's move on.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's go before people get the wrong idea about what in the world here. But that's Karen. We're moving right on to a story that's right up your alley. It's about shoes.
Okay.
Women are paying $1,100 for a pair of shoes. These are Valentino's open-toe Reveille suede pumps. I know, that's probably your favorite shoe. Well, although even when I know Rich wouldn't let you pay that much, would you ever pay that much for a pair of shoes?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I didn't think so. If my lovely wife said she wanted to pay that much, I would make sure that they laced themselves, they polished themselves, they massaged her feet, they cut her toenails, they painted her toenails,
yes,
and allowed her to kick some butt other than mine. Then maybe $1,100 might be worth it. But these shoes, these women are paying $1,100 and they're mad. They want to return them. Why do they want to return them? Because they claim it makes their feet look like they have pig's toes.
Oh, now, those are ugly.
Yeah. It's it's not that their husbands complained about it, because personally, John, maybe I'm speaking for myself here. I had to look to see what a pig's toe looked like. And the pig's toes look like this.
Oh,
and now
wow.
that I saw the pig's toe.
Yeah.
That's what you normally would think, right?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Now I can see why they're upset. It does look a little bit make their feet look a little bit like they have pig's toes. Sure. Yeah. So pigs are complaining too, female pig, because their husbands are complaining that their feet look like human feet now because they
Wow.
And they can't return theirs. So what are they going to do?
$1,100. I can't imagine.
Don't you think they would have tried it on first and looked at
their feet? I would have thought so. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I've been to fashion. I mean, I've watched fashion shows on TV and on the internet. You know, pig's feet are the least of the worries of these people with the
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So, the you know, this is not a big deal in Cleveland. I don't think there's any people buying these pig's feet shoes in Cleveland. And you know, I go to the grocery store, I go to the mall. All I see are flip flops and bedroom slippers. So
Yeah.
nobody's
Yeah.
paying $1,100.
Nope.
Oh,
So anyway, so I think we all agree this is an absurdity that would never happen in Cleveland. And you know, $1,100. Who's paying $1,100 for shoes? You got what you paid for. Okay, here's one for you, John. We'll go from Karen to John on this one.
okay.
So Tommy Schmidt of Germany just set a Guinness World Record. What's his Guinness World Record for? The world's largest hot dog made out of Lego blocks. It's actually a sausage made out of Lego blocks. 65,000 Lego blocks he used to assemble a sausage inside a bun. It looks like a bratwurst. Got him the Guinness World Record for the largest sausage sandwich made out of Lego blocks.
You know, what a waste of energy and time.
Yeah. I know. I look at this, you know, I every time I look at this, my tongue says to my feet, or my feet say to my tongue, don't even think about licking that. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
really.
hurt as bad as stepping
Really.
on. So he was sponsored by a meat and sausage company, which is headquartered in the town he lives in, Thuringer. It's called Die Thuringer is the name of the company, which is German, by the way, for our bratwurst does not taste like plastic blocks.
It's a great translation there.
Yeah, just wanted to let you know in case you thought.
Wow.
I tried to build a Lego kielbasa once while we're talking about Legos and sausages. Every time I get started, it started to look like a kielbasa. I had the uncontrollable urge to go get a kielbasa, you know, a Polish boy. And I put it down and I never finished it. That's what you do in Cleveland. You eat sausages. You don't make
Right.
That's very true.
And kids, by the way, don't eat Lego bricks either.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, if you think your feet hurt when you step on a Lego brick, you really don't want to eat one.
No, you don't. No.
I couldn't believe this. As I was doing my research on Lego blocks, there was a question about whether Lego blocks were digestible.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Oh.
And not only did they say, of course not, Karen, but they said that there were 6 doctors who actually each one of them consumed a Lego block as part of a study just to see what would happen to their digestive system. The good news is it passed without causing any harm to their intestines. But
very good. Yeah.
don't do that. Don't do this at home. It's
Wow.
And we talk about doing dumb things on the show. That's one of the dumbest things you really don't want to do.
Yeah, don't do
Absolutely,
it.
sure.
No.
All right, so we got another music story here. So John, get your trivia hat on again. I got
Will do.
for you. This one comes from Alexander Merceka is the guy's name. He is a musician and he's also a CrossFit trainer. So he's in good shape. He exercises while he plays guitar. Here's a picture of him exercising, doing bench presses while he plays guitar. Now, how does he do bench presses? Yeah, he does the bench press while he does squats. I'm sorry, I said bench press. He does squats with the barbell balanced on his shoulders. Now, I looked it up, and Paul McCartney said he tried this once, and that's how he got the title for that song, Get Back.
Okay, that's appropriate.
I think so. Yeah, the first thing he grabbed, Get My Back. This guy is amazing. He can also play keyboards. He can play keyboards while doing one-arm bench presses. Plays the piano.
Wow.
Yeah, one-arm bench presses. Jerry Lee Lewis tried this once, and his band said they watched him, and there was a whole lot of shaking going on.
Oh, where's the horn
yeah.
for that one? That one deserves a horn.
Need the horn on that one.
Good.
Squats while playing the guitar is how Chuck Berry came up with the duck walk. So I'm thinking, if you want to exercise while you're playing the guitar, why don't you just get a 300-pound guitar? That would kill two birds with one stone, or with one guitar, I guess, right?
That's the phrase.
So I was trying to come up with some songs that would be appropriate to play while you're exercising. John, can you think, or Karen, play? You're welcome to play along, everybody out there. What's a good song to play while you're exercising? And by that, I mean a song that has to do with exercising. Well, I can't believe you both are drawing a blank on that.
I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, I am.
Okay, I'll start you off. Let's Get Physical by John.
By Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
Olivia Newton-John. Okay, how about this one? We Can Work It Out.
Beatles.
The Beatles. There you go. Jump.
Van Halen.
Van Halen. All right. Born to Run.
Bruce Springsteen.
There you go. No, but isn't that a perfect song for somebody who's out jogging, born to run? How about
sure.
For this is more for people our age. Walk This Way.
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith. There you go. All right. So there's our music to exercise by from What in the World. And
yeah, make sure you try to use it this week if you can when you're exercising.
Yeah, there we go. Now I know we planted a bunch of earworms in everybody's heads here. So let's talk about let's talk about robots for a second. So I have a friend who sends me weird stories all the time, and he is just terrified of robots taking over the world. Ralph is his name. So Ralph, if you're listening, this one's for you. So lately the stories have been bad. It's been there were robots that were kicking kids. There were robots knocking people over while they're delivering pizzas. Really bad things. Not like the old days when our favorite robot was the robot on Lost in Space. Remember that robot?
Sure, I do. Sure.
There's a picture of the robot. Oh, John, what's the name of the character standing next to the robot?
That's Zachary Smith, right? Dr. Zachary Smith.
Dr. Zachary Smith. That's right. So this robot, it doesn't look too scary. It's got like accordions for arms and accordions for legs as well. It looks like it doesn't really look scary at all. About the only thing it would do is it would make those accordion arms flap around.
Right.
And it had a human voice, and it would say, "Danger, Will Robinson, danger."
Yes, exactly.
That's all I remember that robot doing.
That's all I remember the robot doing also.
Yeah. Okay. So here's your trivia question. What was the name of the robot?
Ooh.
Robbie.
What was it?
Robbie? Was it Robbie the robot?
No, it was not Robbie. Karen, do you know?
I have no idea. Didn't watch the program.
So the number one, you didn't watch the program?
No.
Didn't watch Lost in Space?
No.
Oh, with June Lockhart and Guy Williams, the sexy Guy Williams, and the wonderful Lassie's mom, June Lockhart.
Right.
I watched Lassie.
Sorry. I'll calm down here.
Wait a minute. You'd be remiss if you can't mention the young boy. Who was the actor
Billy
that played
Mooney?
him?
Yeah, I still see him on Facebook. He does some. And Angela Cartwright, the daughter from the Danny Thomas show.
Yes,
She
yep.
was on
Right.
Facebook.
Right. Exactly.
And then there was the girl with the blonde hair who everybody fell in love with, and the guy who was the pilot, who was the incompetent one. And now, okay, so the number one name that everybody guesses is Robbie the Robot. It turns out Robbie the Robot was a completely different robot from the movie Forbidden Planet. They had the round head, the bullet head. That was Robbie. This robot had no name. He had a label, and on the label it said he was a B9 model class YM3 environmental control robot. So that's what he was, but that was not the name that they gave him. They just called him Robot.
Okay.
Allegedly, This robot had superhuman strength and shot laser beams out of those claws at the end of the accordion arms that it had. And I thought for a long time, I don't ever remember it doing anything superhuman or shooting laser beams. Oh, John?
No, I don't. Now that you mentioned that, Paul, I don't recall that. No.
No, that was it. It just walked around real slowly with
Right.
Will Robinson, and that was it. So why am I talking about this? Because I want to reassure everybody that robots are not taking over the world, and the reason why is because of a robot in China. A humanoid robot in China was spotted on the street begging for money.
Oh boy!
I love it.
Look at that. On its knees, hands folded, a dish in front of it, begging for money. On the sign, there's a sign that says, seeing I, no, it says, I need money for electricity. That's what it says. Need money for electricity in Chinese. That's what he's begging for. Yeah.
Okay.
To recharge and it accepted both cash and digital donation. So I guess you could pay with Bitcoin, I suppose, or with flash your phone to it. Yeah, it would take anything. So here's a guy putting money in it. People were actually giving this stupid robot money while it was begging. So,
oh man,
I love this idea. I'm saving my money. I'm gonna get myself a robot dog. And then I'm going to take it to downtown Cleveland, and I'm going to put a sign in front of it. And the sign says, "Seeing eye dog lost his blind man. Please help."
Oh yeah.
So some people were even giving it food. They're giving the robot food. Like you see somebody, a person begging for money on the street, and they're giving him money, giving him a sandwich. So the robot had to get another sign that said, "Beggars can't be chewers."
Oh,
yeah,
that's passable. That's passable.
A slight horn. There we go.
Okay.
So no one seemed to mind that it was begging for money, but the mechanical human, this mechanical robot, was actually attacked by a gang of little girls because they thought he was going to start selling robot cookies and compete.
Cut into their territory.
Yeah, don't want to sell robot cookies. So it's begging to be recharged. I would have thought maybe it would be begging for some cans of WD-40 to keep its joints in shape or something like that. But people actually gave it money. They said that later they saw it going to the ATM with the money, and they thought that it was going to make a deposit, but instead it was waving the money in front of the ATM, hoping to impress the ATM so that she'd go out on a date with him. Now he's got money. Yeah. Smart robot or horny robot. I'm not sure which.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we had some weird stories, some questionable stories, not suitable for work. I want to end with something sweet. So this one comes from Germany. I had a bunch of stories from Germany this week. In Germany, this guy's name is Andre Ortolf. And Andre just broke the Guinness World Record. Get ready for this. The most honey eaten in a minute. John, take a guess. How much honey did this guy eat in 1 minute to get the world record?
In 1 minute?
1 minute, yeah.
12 ounces.
12 ounces. Here's a picture. He ate 2.8 pounds. 2 pounds, probably about 12 ounces. 2 pounds, 12 ounces in a minute. In a minute.
Just for clarification, did he have something to drink while he was eating or no?
No. He
oh my gosh! How did he do that?
I know. Yeah, he sprayed WD-40 down his throat.
I guess that works. I don't know. Wow. Oh my gosh!
So that's making me nauseous.
No, come on, Karen. It's honey. It's sweet. So he said he felt fine after he did it, but to be safe, he left with a bear hunter in case he still smelled.
Oh.
After breaking the record, get ready for this. He said he felt fine after breaking the record, except his ears started buzzing, his butt stung, and he broke out in hives. But
Oh,
All those
okay.
things happened to this poor guy. Wow.
now you can see in the picture, he's eating it with a spoon. He's had to eat the honey with a spoon because no one makes a 2.8 pound plastic squeeze bottle shaped of in the shape of a
Like a
bear.
bear.
Wow.
Yeah, that he could have held over his head and just squeezed it down his throat.
Yeah.
Might have gone down a little faster. Yeah. So they asked if there was any benefits to it, and he said, "Yeah." He said he got bitten by a mosquito, and he didn't have to worry. The mosquito got stuck to his arm trying to suck out.
I'd pay to see that. I would pay to see that happen.
And on that sweet note, I'm gonna wrap up my portion of What in the World, and everybody knows that means it's time for. Oh, there's my logo. Oh, I'm sorry, John. I have the wrong logo up here.
That's all right.
But What in the World of Sports with John Donalo. Regular listeners know that John and I go back to our college days. We met probably on the second day of classes. We're fraternity brothers, been friends all this time. John knows more about sports and trivia than anybody else I know, although don't judge him on today. We had some tough questions today. But when it comes to sports, he's got them. So I challenge him every week. John, find us a sport that lives up to our motto, real sport. Sometimes strange, always funny. And John always manages to come up with a sport. So I hope people weren't paying real close attention when I put that next slide up. But tell us what your sport is.
Well, hopefully, I have a good delivery, Paul, and I can explain that to everyone. So, so our sport this week comes to us from France. It's a French combat sport, and it's called Cane de Combat. Let me explain. In this sport, the participants use cane, well, the pronunciation, I believe, in French is cane, or the English equivalent is cane, which is kind of a walking stick that is designed specifically for fighting.
Wow.
Now, the cane de combat originated in France in the early 19th century as a self-defense discipline and was used by the upper classes in large and unsafe cities such as Paris. Gentlemen trained into the savate technique mastered cane as a way of fighting from a distance instead of in close quarters. The cane de combat was more common in cities, whereas a staff similar to a European quarterstaff was more popular in rural areas. Now, the tactics used were largely interchangeable between these two disciplines because they were both very, very popular. The techniques of cane de combat increased in popularity so much to the point where they were used by military and police forces during the First World War.
Wow.
Yeah, cane de combat was first standardized in the 1970s then for competition by a gentleman by the name of Maurice Sarri. The cane is very light and is made of chestnut wood and is slightly tapered. A padded suit and fencing mask are worn for protection by the participants. Now, the sport did eventually spread to the U.S. on the East Coast, and this is from an individual from France. His name was Jean-Noël Enyard. Now, the French tradition includes techniques of medieval stick fighting, except those techniques were considered too dangerous to be used in the sport. So there was some concern about that as it became more popular. In the modern form of cane de combat, the bouts are held inside a ring. The cane is held with one hand, but the player can change it from hand to hand during the bout. Now, strokes are made either horizontally or downward, and the individual is either thrusting the cane or stabbing blows. Well, excuse me, stabbing blows are being prohibited and also thrusting as well. But the scoring zone, interesting enough, are the calves, the torso, and the head. So to count, all strokes must be with the cane, And as you can imagine, low blows must have a lunging movement. Okay, the bout is won on points, which are scored for style according to the correctness of body positioning during fighting. Contact with prohibited areas, such as the arm, is penalized. With the lightness of the cane and the protective clothing, a knockout is impossible. So, it is thus possible to win a match without landing a blow on one's adversary if he or she accumulates too many penalties, which is amazing when you think of that. Now,
Yeah.
for the older generations here, you may remember the 1960s TV series The Avenger. Patrick Macnee was trained in Kane for his role as John Steed, but in the series, he is usually using an umbrella, not a cane, as a weapon. And that was a terrific series in the
Oh, yeah.
1960s for those of us who were alive then, or if you want to watch them on YouTube or whatever platform you have now.
Yeah.
Now, to me, this sounds like the perfect sport for Cleveland. We may not have canes, but I've seen plenty of little old ladies at the West Side Market stop a purse snatcher with a long smoked kielbasa.
Oh,
So have I.
Well, I mean, think of it. I mean, not
Oh,
necessarily just the West Side Market here in Cleveland, but the other markets that are here, right?
yeah.
Any,
Wow.
that's exactly right. You don't mess with the little old lady with a big kielbasa. That is
Just
my
leave it at that,
grandfather.
Paul. Paul,
My
let's just
grandfather
leave it at
told me
that.
that. I
Enough said. Enough
remember
said.
it to this day. Cane fighting. Who knew? Who knew? Cane and plain old canes. It's not even it's fashionable canes. It looks like something that would come in handy, John. I'm
Well, yeah, I no. As a matter of fact, I mean, you think of it. Um, Large cities at that time frame, okay, in the
yeah,
early 19th century, those were London, Paris, those big metropolitan areas. You had all kind of people there. So again, if you're in the upper class or well-to-do, you're going to have something to be able to fend them off or whatever.
yeah,
I find it interesting that the cane is typically made of chestnut wood, which I know is a very light wood, as opposed to something that would be something made out of oak or a harder wood per se. But it gives a person a chance to have some flexibility and being able to wield the cane and again defend yourself with that if need
yeah,
be.
yeah. And just like in the martial arts, I know it showed some of
Sure,
those pictures
sure.
showed with the person with the cane overpowering someone who had a gun or who had a crowbar or
Right, another kind of weapon, right?
yeah, yeah. So if you know the right technique, obviously that cane could disable a more powerful opponent. So I'm
Sure.
surprised they haven't worked it into UFC or the mixed martial arts. It's
Well, maybe that's coming, Paul. I
there
was
you
not able
go.
to find any research about that
Yeah,
specifically, but as we know with a lot of sports, right, they sometimes are very popular and then they somehow become subdued or whatever, or they fall under the radar screen and then they
yeah.
somehow come back. So
Yep.
everyone's looking to do something. So maybe they would be. Stay tuned, everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the most interesting part of that you were talking about was that it came to the United States in 1970, I think you said.
Yeah,
And
in the 70s it was
the
when it came
70s, yeah.
to
And
the United
I was
States.
thinking, I seem to remember hearing about cane fighting in the 1970s when we were in college. I don't know if you remember this, but it seems to me that one of the other fraternities at our school challenged us to a cane fighting bout, intramural, of course. Did you remember that?
No, no, I don't. In fact, I'm drawing a complete blank on that, Paul.
Well, it was. I think luckily I was able to get some old newspapers and I read about it and they really did challenge us to cane fighting, which we said no, that's far too violent. We need to find something that we could do with canes that's not as violent as cane fighting. So what we came up with was we found a game. I don't know if you or I found it. It was called Spin the Cane, which sounded like it would be a lot of fun, especially if we could get one of the sororities to play. Um,
Yeah, you got that right.
I'll tell you what though. One of us looked it up, and turns out that it was a game you play with candy canes. And
Wow.
yeah, you put the cane on your finger and you spin the cane around, and
Okay.
then you eat the cane. Nothing nefarious about it at all. So we didn't want to do that with another fraternity. So then somebody suggested cane dipping, which also sounds kind of dirty for some of you who have minds in the gutter like mine. But but John said, no, cane dipping. It must be something that you dip candy canes into. In fact, here's a picture of what we thought it was, some
Oh.
cream dip that you would dip your cane into. But no, of course, it's not that. Cane dipping is an actual sport, and you play it, you tie a string um, to your belt, and then you tie a cane to the end upside down in a hook.
Oh,
And then you bend
no.
over a
Wow.
bowl of candy canes and you attempt, it's like fishing. You attempt to hook a candy cane to another candy cane and then drop it into a cup. Now, here's a here's a co-ed version of it, John. So
Hey,
it's a
skill. It's a skill like anything else.
hard.
I
I
mean,
think
I'm sorry. It's a skill like anything else, right?
yeah.
I think we should
So,
try this at our next business party.
there you go. Yeah,
Well, I think you know what.
what in the world Christmas party? That's what we'll be doing.
Oh my, oh my.
So obviously we didn't do any of this. I think we found something. What we did was we found some candy cane beer. Here's
Beer's always the solution. That's
I
right.
know you remember that candy cane lager, and
Mhm.
we shared it with everybody and had a good time. And that was our cane. There was no fighting over the canes here. Drink beer, drink it.
Uh,
Oh, how about that candy cane
very
lager?
good.
Yeah, sure, sure.
I didn't think I could find an old can of that stuff.
Yeah.
So there we are done with what in the world of sports. Thanks so much, John, for
Oh,
that
you're welcome,
Yeah.
Paul. Carried audience. It was,
fighting. All right.
it was good sport to research. It was good.
Yeah. So regular listeners know that once we're done with what in the world of sports, that means it's time for Bluff the co-host, everybody's favorite weird news game. The game that's sweeping the world, sweeping the world. Everybody likes to play what in the world. With Google Translate, you can translate what in the world into all the different languages around the world. So everybody gets to play it. And what they do is they listen to 3 stories that I tell, just like we've been doing for the first hour of the show. One big difference: those stories were real. These stories may be real, but they may be a bluff. And it's up to Karen, John, and all of you playing at home to decide real or bluff. Wagering is allowed, so place your bets. John and Karen, put your hands on the buzzer. Let's get right to story number 1. You've probably heard of a scapegoat. That's a person who is blamed for the mistakes of others. However, you probably have never heard of or even seen an scapegoat, which is a unique breed of mountain goat from Tibet. The reason why you've never seen an scapegoat in a zoo is explained by its name. These tiny Tibetan mountain goats are able to climb sheer rock walls, which makes it impossible to hold them in a fenced enclosure or even in a walled one. Although they can be captured, they are always gone by the next morning, no matter where they are kept. They've been called scapegoats for centuries and were thought to be urban legends until some mountain climbers from Germany, of all places, recently watched a local herder catch one, put it in a pen with a 30-foot high fence, and watched it climb out before he could even close the gate.
Wow.
As always, they forgot to take pictures. So, just in case you were wondering, John, so there you have it, the scapegoat, a rare mountain goat from Tibet that no one has seen in a zoo because there's no zoo that can keep it inside. Real or bluff? Karen, we'll start with you.
As weird as it sounds, I think it's real. So I'm going to go real.
Okay, Karen says, as weird as it sounds, it's real. John, how about you?
Yeah, I agree with Karen on this one. I think there's various species of goat, and who's to say this would not be true? So I'm going to say it's true.
Yeah. Okay, so both John and Karen say that the escape goat is true. A goat that can escape from every enclosure, kind of like the goat of goats, you might say.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's check with the judges, and the judges say, sorry, that's a bluff. There's no such thing as an escape
Oh,
goat.
I
Yeah,
don't know. Maybe we need some people out in those remote areas of Tibet to make sure they
Yeah.
could seek out to see if there would be such a
And
large
no,
goat.
we don't have a picture. If we don't
yeah,
have a picture,
Well,
we
there,
can't
yeah,
prove
I
it
guess
didn't
we should
happen.
that's
Yeah.
rely
right.
on our
Yeah, there
instincts
you
on
go.
that, Karen. We should rely on our instincts for sure.
No, they're all
Well,
too busy looking for the Yeti. We know that. Of which there's no pictures of that either. So don't
that
even.
is true
Okay.
also.
Okay. Scores tied 0-0. Gee, this is just like a World Cup soccer match. Let's get right to story number 2. Patrons sitting outside restaurants on Sydney Bay in Australia are constantly tormented by seagulls trying to steal food. However, one small section is seagull free after hiring a local sheep herder who has trained his dogs to herd seagulls and chase them away. According to witnesses, the dogs corral the birds by barking, growling, and chasing them from the decks, railings, and even from under tables. They are trained not to harm the seagulls, just make them frustrated enough to fly away hungry. The restaurants say the dogs work great and customers love watching them, but the sheep herder has to constantly remind the dogs and the customers that French fries are not good for sheepdogs. He also has to remind the dogs that children in souvenir feather hats are not seagulls. Okay, so bars and restaurants in Sydney, Australia that are bothered by seagulls for outdoor diners are hiring sheepdogs to herd the seagulls and chase them away. Real or bluff? John, we'll start with you.
Well, I'll tell you, it sounds somewhat complicated, but I'm going to go against the grain here, if there is such a thing, and I'm going to say that it's a real story because you got to keep those gulls away from your food and your beer. I mean, those gulls disrupt so many meals throughout the world, and this is in
Yeah,
Australia. So I'm
even
going
in
to say it's
Cleveland.
real. Yeah,
Yeah,
in Cleveland, sure. I'm going to say it's real.
John says that seagull chasing, herding sheepdogs are real.
The sheepdogs are on patrol. They're on
Karen, how
patrol.
about you?
I agree because I've heard about the seagull problem.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's real.
All right. We've talked about the seagull problems on the show before. So
Yes, we have. Yes, we
yeah,
have.
let's check with the judges and see if this is a real story. And the judges say, congratulations to both of you. There are seagull herding sheepdogs on Sydney Harbor. So while you,
Well,
instead of looking at the Sydney Opera House, you can look for the sheepdogs. But don't give them any French fries. That's what the
Yeah.
sheep.
that's right. Don't do that. Don't
How
do
about
that.
that? Okay. Well, this has now become a high scoring World Cup game, 1-1. So
Yeah.
We're very trendy here.
how about that? Points are double in round number 2. But we're gonna either end up in a tie or we're gonna have one winner here. So let's see what we have. Most people have only seen armadillos along the side of the road or squished in the middle of the road, but an animal trainer in Oklahoma is hoping to make armadillos the next popular support animal. While not known to be good pets, he said armadillos can be trained using mealworms to come when called, be carried around, and roll into a ball on command. That last skill makes them easy to catch and helps an owner pick them up and even carry them around in special little bowling bags with breathing holes in a small container for food and water. Yes, armadillos can be potty trained, so these support armadillos are perfect for people living in small apartments who want a support animal. The best part is you don't need to walk them because armadillos can get plenty of exercise indoors. Just order yours to roll into a ball, then roll it into the next room and call it to come. The support armadillos are only available in Oklahoma, but the trainer hopes to expand to other states with warm climate. Okay, so a trainer in Oklahoma is training armadillos to be support animals. Real or bluff? Karen, back to you.
I hope this is a bluff because it sounds like, who wants an armadillo for a It's not cuddly. It's not, yeah, no,
Not even in a ball, nice and
yeah,
cuddly?
no.
No?
I
Okay.
hope it's a bluff.
Karen hopes it's a bluff. John, how about you?
I completely agree with Karen on this. I mean, an armadillo. I mean, come on, you know what they look like, right?
Oh,
How do you get a warm and fuzzy feeling when you see an armadillo? Boy, I also am with Karen. I hope this is a bluff.
now wait a minute. John, have you ever seen an armadillo up close and personal?
Yes, I have. When I've been
Oh,
in the western part of the United States. Yes, I've seen the
okay.
armadillo.
And
Yes.
they're not cute and cuddly?
I mean, they're an animal, so there's a certain amount of cuteness to them, but their face and everything and their scales. No, I'm not going with that.
Shell, don't they?
They what?
They have a hard shell, don't they?
Yeah,
Wait,
well,
and
that's how
yeah,
they pull up into a
wait.
ball.
On
That's how
top of
you
it,
carry them around.
no,
Yeah.
no. Wait a minute. On top of it, they have a long tail. They have long tails
Yeah, but they
also.
tuck it in. You don't see
Yeah,
them
Oh
when they
no,
roll
yeah,
into
it's
a ball.
gross.
I'm saying no. If not, we have to have some kind of campaign. Let's find out what the answer is.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, John. I like to, but the judges are screaming behind me. Let's get to the judges already. And the judges say, congratulations to both of you. That is a bluff. No
Well, I'll tell you
way.
what. That just restores my faith in humanity. That's very good.
yes,
The
yes, it
only
does.
thing that's true in that whole thing, believe it or not, you can train it. You can potty train an armadillo. Uh, People who have attempted to tame them into pets, which is impossible. The one thing that they were able to train them to do was to potty train them. I don't know how they do
Well,
that.
that's okay. That's a positive, I guess. But yeah.
There you
Wow.
go. Yeah, John, looking for a positive. Always the optimist, looking for
Always looking for
uh,
the silver lining.
there
That's
you
right.
go. All
That's
right.
right.
Well, speaking of silver linings, I don't know if this is a silver lining, but we're at the end of another episode of What in the World. I want to thank Karen Hale, our producer, media mogul at newclevelandradio.net, co-host. Thank you, Karen, for everything you do for our show and for all the great podcasts that you have, for being our liaison with Cleveland 13 News. Please check newclevelandradio.net for all of Karen's great podcasts, all different varieties of podcasts. Nothing like What in the World, but you can find that there as well. There are links to find it. Also on YouTube, don't forget. Links to and information on our sponsors. Also on Karen's Yes I Can Coaching with Karen, our other sponsor. Again, thank you, Karen, for everything you do for us.
Cute.
And as
Okay.
always, I want to thank my old buddy John Donalo, our host of What in the World of Sport. All around good guy. He comes, he puts up with me every week and keeps coming back for more. So thanks for doing that, John.
You're welcome,
Have
Paul
a
and
good
Karen, the
week.
audience. It's always a lot of fun to do it.
Yeah, always good to have you with us. And as always, I want to thank all of our listeners. Without you, we wouldn't be doing this show. You're the reason why we do the research. We put the show together, get it up on the internet. Everybody's got their job. But if you're not enjoying it as our goal is for you to enjoy it as much as we do putting it on. I hope that's what happens. Everybody needs an hour of laughter every week, and
Absolutely.
providing to you as well. That's our community service, you might say, to the world. To the world, bring some laughter once a week. But I won't mention the time anymore since we're not broadcasting live. But please go to Spotify and Apple and all of your other podcast platforms. Find out more at newclevelandradio.net. Find us on YouTube and watch, listen, tell your friends, all that good stuff. Because and send us messages so we know that you're out there. That's
Absolutely. We love
Yeah, we
hearing
want to make
from
sure
you.
we're getting that we're making sure that we have a degree of popularity out there, of course.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you've got stories, I mentioned Ralph, I mentioned Marion all the time. If you've got stories, please send them to us, and we'll definitely, if they work, we'll do them on the air, and we'll mention your name as well. Who doesn't want to be mentioned on What in the World? And on that note, Karen, are we done?
I think we're done, everybody. We'll see you all next week.
Have a great week,
Bye.
everybody. Take care.